We do pray for our president. We pray for the Supreme Court. We pray for the members of Congress. We pray for those who are in authority, because this is not a political scorecard. This is about the very life and future of our nation.
Religion, as we've already seen, is going to be key to this race. I think, for the most part, the electorate in the United States expects their president to be a person of faith somehow. It's not just an electoral position, it's not just a CEO position. The president is also seen and expected to be a moral leader. I mean, we have two Mormons at play, Huntsman and, of course, Romney. And we have Newt Gingrich, who is a relatively recent Catholic convert. And we have Michele Bachmann, of course, and Sarah Palin, who is sitting on the sidelines at this point, and Rick Perry, the governor of Texas, who are self-declared evangelicals. I wonder to what degree Romney's Mormon faith and Huntsman's Mormon faith, if he advances, to what degree it will become an issue.
Given our grand tradition of religious tolerance and liberty, some wonder whether there are any questions regarding an aspiring candidate's religion that are appropriate. I believe there are, and I'll answer them today. I do not define my candidacy by my religion. A person should not be elected because of his faith, nor should he be rejected because of his faith.
Some people speak of this as a kind of Mormon moment in the United States. There has been a great deal of pop culture attention to the Latter-day Saints. I think faith can and should play a role in public life. But the question then becomes, whose faith? It seems that these GOP candidates, at least many of them, are trying to say, who's the best Christian? Who's the most authentic person of faith in this field? Michele Bachmann's presence, Rick Perry's recent prayer rally in Texas shows us that the Christian right, as a political force, has a great deal of energy and I think will play a major role, certainly in the Republican primaries leading up to the 2012 election, and depending on who the Republican candidate is in the general election as well. Historically speaking, the Christian right as we know it began to form in mid to late 1970s. Think about the economic problems and a rapidly changing economic scene and a rapidly changing scene in American family lives. But certainly since September 11th, 2001, the Christian right has been re-energized. Fear is a great mobilizer. And the fears that we're experiencing now, the horrible economic downturn of 2008 and the continuing effects of that economic downturn, and the great shock of September 11th, 2001, did a great deal, I think, to mobilize the Christian right in its latest incarnation. One of the things that fascinates me is how, of course, we know that Ronald Reagan was the darling of this fledgling Christian right movement in 1980, but was not at all a churchgoer. President Obama seemed to be able to pluck those religious chords, but has shown that he doesn't have deep institutional connections to organized religious institutions. Although, as we recall in the last election, the commitments he once had at Jeremiah Wright's church in Chicago became a campaign issue. So for Obama, I'm afraid, it's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. Just very recently, we had Rick Perry's rally. I think that rally understood that there is great fear among people in the United States today. There is a spiritual hunger that is deeply rooted, not only in people's minds, but in people's hearts and souls. And I think those are the emotions that matter and will continue to matter in the run-up to the 2012 elections.